Okay, we're back with the Perfect Storm, episode 9. Have the same old fellas here, Justin and Phil.
There you go.
Old being the key word.
Old.
Yeah.
I said that unconsciously because I'm a little younger than you both. Just wanted to remind you.
Yeah, 2 weeks.
Let's get straight into it. I'm excited about today's subject.
What's today's subject, Phil?
Oh, the daily news.
Yeah,
What's on the news?
We are going to be covering the news this week to see
It's a
what's going on.
perfect storm, fellas. There's trouble coming.
Yep.
The world is doomed. If you're watching at home, get ready. The world is doomed. And it can be fixed by one man, and that man is Jesus, our Lord and Savior.
And that's the only time it will be fixed.
Boy. Anyway.
I wanted to start over in Brazil. We've got X having to withdraw its office staff from Brazil for fear of arrest. They have to shut down their operation completely. As a result, to protect the company, we've made this in close operations. The X service remains available for the people of Brazil.
What's going on there?
Why does X have to shut down?
All the socialists are showing their true colours. They're communists.
What do you think of socialists? And where it came from?
I cannot stand people that want to restrict freedom of other people. And England, prediction, how long before they have to shut down their offices in England? Because the British Prime Minister, what a dude. He's already threatening to arrest Elon Musk. And this is the problem, folks, when the government, and they got elected down there in Brazil. What's the name of the new president? The old guy was like Donald Trump, and the new guy is really sponsored by the Communist Party that was arrested at one point.
In Brazil?
Yeah, paid off all the judges or whatever he did. Anyway, they are very socialistic. South America's got a real obsession with that. And you'll always see the socialists will lead to more restrictions. They make out they're the left and freedom. They're the left that is destructive communism. That's all it is.
So you got a lot of different leaders in different countries. So England, America, Brazil.
The socialists. We've got one in Australia. Sorry. Sorry.
What are you sorry about?
I said that on air.
Oh, okay. Well, you're talking about Britain, the UK releasing 5,000 prisoners. So we are on YouTube. For those of you listening on the radio, very sorry, we're on YouTube. We're watching a clip. I'm going to turn the volume up. You're going to listen to this clip here.
Okay.
34 seconds. The UK releasing 5,000 prisoners to make room for anti-immigration protesters.
We will guarantee a prison cell. We will make sure that those people who need to be in prison will be in prison, not necessarily in the area where they live. They may be 200-300 miles away from home, but we will guarantee people a prison cell.
With the numbers are so
That's
tight,
encouraging.
how can you make that guarantee?
They are tight, and that's why we've initiated Operation Early Dawn. So basically, the easiest way to describe it is 1 in, 1 out. So as people get released, we can then pick up people from police cells and take them to court, and we will triage that 3 times a day. We will guarantee.
Wow.
So 3 times a day, we will decide that a current serving prisoner is less important than a protester that might have done something the government doesn't like currently.
Wow.
Prisons are completely full in the UK.
What are they putting people in
They
prison
might need
for?
to find another Australia to send them to.
Well, they're saying it's over being violent protests, but in fact, they're jailing people for speech, as we talked about the other day. So they've got a prison cell for you for a Facebook post that, Phil, you put up some... We've probably said rubbish on this podcast or radio program that factually was actually, we found out later, may not have been correct. Well, that's enough to get you in jail and they'll be letting out, I don't know, rapists or whoever out of prison to put people in who are basically the political opposition in their views. They don't share their politics, so that's good enough to put you in jail. Happening in America as well. It's happening all over the world.
Doesn't have to be not true. It can be something that's true that is considered hate speech.
Yeah, I know. But even if it's just happened to be untrue, they'll get you. What happened to England? To the British people, get out while you can. It's a dog's breakfast over there. I'm broken. I love going to England. My ancestry is in Wales and Scotland and all those great places, Yorkshire, Birmingham. great-grandmother worked in the Cadbury's factory at Bourneville.
I'm an English citizen.
Yeah, that's
Got
right. I
passport and
forgot
everything.
about that. We always have one on the set,
I
don't
better
we?
not say the wrong thing.
I'm sorry. I'm just brokenhearted with what's happened to England. But from what my Bible's saying, folks, expect the more. Expect the more. It's not going away. It's not going to get any better. They're just going to change teams, but they're all going to act in a dictatorial way that takes away your personal liberty and freedom.
Now,
What say you, Kyle?
well,
Sorry, I'm
it's fine.
grumpy
No,
about
it's
England.
fine. I'm just very, very
Make me
distracted
grumpy.
because when AI gets out of hand, it creates. Turn the volume off, but
You haven't been watching AI, have
this
you?
is.
Oh, come
Oh,
on.
no.
No, don't do this.
Don't do that. No. Well, that's what happens
This is a
on AI.
radio
This is-
program.
Good thing it's only a radio program. But AI video is what's happening, and it's doing some crazy things with Trump and Kamala Harris. But this I can't see how this would last in Britain. I can't see it lasting.
Britain is, I don't think they're, well, we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
But the British people, I don't care which side of politics you're from, liberty is a God-given right. God is a libertarian. He'll allow you to commit sin that will ultimately lead to your destruction. He will not stop you. But the consequences he'll never take from you. Well, they're trying to stop people from thinking wrong thoughts. The Brits have lost their mind.
What's going on with Iran and Israel at the moment? Why haven't we seen any retaliation? Do you guys think?
Really good question.
That's a great question.
I think they're cooking up something big is what I'd take it as.
It's
You,
been
you still think Iran's is going to attack?
Definitely. They've been humiliated, like on the world stage. They're humiliated. And the Persian people, they go back to Bible times. This is, Xerxes and whoever, right back there. They're proud people, mate. There's a proud culture. And the other thing, they know they may be counting the cost. America's sending nuclear subs, there's already 2 over there, another aircraft carrier group. The F-22s have left home. They landed the B-2s in Australia the other day, the big single-wing bombers that you can't detect. They've been practicing blowing up ships with one bomb out of these undetectable aircraft, the Americans. And I just saw the other day they've landed them in Australia on their way to a secret mission. They're on their way to the Middle East, mate. That's my take on it. If the Iranian people are watching what's going on, they should back right off and just go about their business because America's looking for a fight. They're looking for a fight.
They need something to distract them in the upcoming election.
There it is. B-2 stealth bombers arrive in Australia.
And they are a wicked piece of machinery.
3 days ago.
Yep. We didn't know. They don't. They only release what they want us to see. And you'll notice in this footage is not through a fence somewhere. Look at them. They're standing in the actual aircraft hangar. You can see the pilot's name. And that thing, it's really a nuclear bomber.
That is very strange that they're giving you the pilot's name on the aircraft.
I couldn't believe it.
How frustrated would you be if you were that pilot?
You can't get that close to one. And these new ones that they've just put out, you can never see the exhausts on these aircraft because apparently it's such new technology. They can fly them over Russia and everywhere. No one sees them. They're undetectable. And they've been practicing in the latest exercises, actually with one bomb sinking they use this old aircraft carrier landing craft type thing. It's a crossover. It's a massive ship. With one bomb out of one of those, that's the end of the ship. So China's been funny in the South China Sea. The fact they're in Australia, because Guam is now within missile range of China. So the Americans have moved their B-52s their nuclear strike bombers to Darwin. And I would say, I don't know, they're not telling us much about where these things have gone, but I would suspect it's somewhere up there.
So you reckon Middle East or China?
Mate, we're guessing.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter for them. Also with them was the long-range refueling aircraft. They landed at the same time. So they're on a bit of a task. They're normally based in America.
What are your Australian sources telling you? What's the grapevine like?
Mate, no one knows. We're guessing here. I think everyone's guessing. Does Iran know what they're going to do?
As in, is Australia prepping to enter the war? Because I've heard, at least from somebody who's serving, that the Australian military and Air Force are all being prepped. Get ready to go.
No, definitely. That's happening.
Yep.
I guess that's kind of old news now. That this morning on the radio, they're saying that they're now no longer allowing academics from China to come to Sydney University because they teach our military candidates there. The amount of spying that we have allowed it's unreal. So, guys, we're not, we could talk through our hats and you could think nothing's ever going to happen. This is building up. This is coming. And
I haven't seen this video yet here, but this is just 35 seconds of, it's a parody channel. Is this a real Trump video?
I don't know, mate. You're the expert on all that.
The United States has let the Middle East get totally out of control. Really bad things are happening, all easily within our power to stop. Could lead actually to catastrophe if not handled with strength and precision. Same is true with Russia, Ukraine, and maybe even more so. We have to fix our country. We have to bring peace. Our nation is in dire trouble. I will fix it.
Got to win first.
Got to win. Got to be there. Got to be there to do something about it.
It's going to be dirty and it's going to be nasty, all this election in November. But the Russia-Ukraine, the Ukrainians, and I have to say, it's an open secret that America's driving that whole thing. They're now up into the Kursk region for 2 weeks now. This isn't... I don't think Putin's a guy you push around. You don't push him around. And the world is really on the brink right now. And this is being recorded at, what are we, the 21st of August?
Yep.
24? So you can look back at this in the future if you so chose, but none of us know the future. The Bible and God's revealed the future to us in the scriptures, but not in the graphic detail that we're looking at here. We just have the big picture, and it's a terrible future. It's one that we need to be prepared for spiritually. Whose phone's ringing?
I don't know.
Unexpected things happen on the show. It does seem very interesting to see Ukraine pushing so far into Russia.
Wow.
What are they trying to achieve by that? Are they defending their land, or do they honestly think they're going to take Russia?
No, I think they're probably. I would imagine, I'm guessing, that they're trying to negotiate. So if we said we'll give you this land back, if you give us ours back, that's the sort of thing that you could do.
And Putin's already come out and said, "I'm not negotiating with these guys."
No, he won't.
He's sick of them changing their mind on that.
He won't. He's going to go scorched earth, is my prediction.
Here he says they're offering safe haven for people trying to escape Western liberal ideals.
So
Maybe-
I go under that. He's a proper socialist.
Come to Russia.
Is he? Is Putin a socialist?
Totally. He's a dictator. His elections are fake. Democracy, when it's one person, one vote, is a rare thing in the history of the world. And we've got used to it like it's normal. It's not normal. Strong men rule the chief, and he's a strong man. And his KGB lived in New Zealand for a while.
Putin did.
Yeah.
Interesting. Didn't know.
I got some news for you.
Yeah, go.
Did you know that a new battery's been made? Samsung, right? Uses a kilo of silver. This thing can go nearly 1,000 kilometres.
This is Phil stock tips.
Yeah. No, I'm not. No,
We
I
don't
buy
give
stocks,
financial
but This
advice.
is unbelievable. Charged in 9 minutes.
Oh, it's unreal.
Charged in 9 minutes, got a 20-year battery life.
That would, I can't stand the whole obsession with electric cars, but I want to tell you that one would appeal to me. 9-minute charge. The technology will catch up because it's not good at the moment.
You can fill your car quicker, but still 9 minutes pretty quick.
Only just
10 minutes.
Time you go in and pay for it.
Go in, get some chips, get a drink, a couple of shines. and then you
Donut.
could- yeah.
Donut.
The monkeypox as well. Have you guys got a case
I've
of the
seen plenty of
monkeypox yet?
people online with it.
It's real.
What is it?
Spread in the world. Oh, it's some sort of virus that people catch. But the beautiful thing, thus far, be suspicious when there's a big disease coming out just before an election. But be suspicious. But it's not airborne. It's by touch. That's what. And we're not conspiracy theorists. are
When
we,
it's
Phil?
airborne, then it's epidemic.
What I thought was interesting was Trump, straight after the World Health Organization put out their video warning of this health emergency, Trump puts out a video saying, we do not comply, and any airline, school, any public health facility that puts a mask mandate or any forced anything into place will be losing funding when I take government.
Well, there's no point having a mask if it's not airborne. It's touch.
Yeah.
It's actually a sexually transmitted thing. Is how it's really was spreading initially, but it looks really bad. If you put some pictures up of people that have this,
So it looks
It's
exactly
hideous.
like, what's the other thing that gives
looks
you a
like
rash?
Job.
Mumps.
It's hideous.
Anyways, I saw an article. They basically lifted photos from some other rash-based disease that I've forgotten now, and they're just using the same photos to warn about this one. So, is it coming to Australia? Is it something that's planned? Is it naturally generated? And why? Why so soon before an election, guys?
I don't know. We don't know, but it's after what we've all gone through with COVID, we're a little gun shy. Let's just say that what we were told, if you took the vaccine, you'll stop the spread, for instance, that was totally fallacious, and it was never ever true. It never stopped the spread. There's so much documentation now that the vaccine, the cure, may have been worse than the cause. The actual COVID thing may have been better. I think initially it was pretty bad, but as different variations came through, I've got so many friends that have been damaged. They never come back to church. They never do lots of stuff because of the way the church handled it. I just think we need to just take a big, deep breath there. And it's all gone now, COVID, but their idea, and there's a lot of evidence out there that they delight in the idea of controlling other people. And all these things becomes a method of control.
You know, I found, speaking on control, during COVID, the state premiers took control. Like it was them that were making the rules, not the federal government.
Yep.
State premiers were coming in and going, this is what you can and can't do. You can do this, this, and this. And I thought, this is amazing. I've never seen in this. I've been, 51 years old. I've never seen this in Australia before, that you would have state premiers taking control and telling people what they can and can't do. Usually that's the federal government, isn't it?
It seemed to me, living in New South Wales at the time, Berejiklian was pretty libertarian, and the Liberals, by their name, just tended to go that way a bit more. Scott Morrison was a Prime Minister, and he was really reluctant to impose stuff because of their worldview. But those that have a predispensation towards a more socialist politics, guess what they did? They had to jump in and be big brother and control. And I think that was the most revealing thing to me. I didn't think there was much difference between the political sides.
Mm-hmm.
But in fact, if you look at the way they handled it, I compare New South Wales to Victoria or to Queensland, handled very, very differently. And I was glad to be in New South Wales.
Yeah.
Definitely. Also, massive fences going up already around the White House.
Yeah, this is
some reason.
amazing, isn't it?
What's that for, Kyle? What are they doing that for?
There's theories.
What's your theory?
Possibly that they're doing it already for the inauguration is one theory, or, whoever
It's
gets
nearly
inaugurated.
too far away, but isn't it?
Then this one's saying before Joe Biden's address tonight.
That he's already done that.
That was a month ago. But that's some heavy-duty fencing going up. Pro-Palestine protesters.
Yes.
But that's last year's stuff, those videos. Anyway, so, yeah. I don't know. There's a lot going on behind the scenes, and it's hard to know why and how the machine is working. But there's definitely a machine that's working. There's an interview the other day saying from Nancy Pelosi saying she could put a mug on the table, put a D behind it, and get it elected. So, yeah,
They're very organised, the US politics, and you can see the way Joe Biden has been pushed to the side. I mean, literally.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't want to go. That much is obvious. And the speech he made last night they put him on. This is the president of the United States on the opening day, not the final day, and they put him on at 11:30 at night. Why would you do that, Phil?
It's pretty bad, eh?
That
Did
is
you hear
bad.
it? Did you hear the
Parts of it. I couldn't watch the whole thing. He's really not on his game.
I just feel sorry for him.
Bit of a mess.
Yeah.
I feel sorry for him that he's, can't speak.
We're going to all end up that way if we live long enough, I
true.
guess. And so you wouldn't want to mock his mental state,
No.
but the whole way the party has handled it, the lack of giving a voice to the people, that's a bit I don't like. Don't take away people's voice. If they want someone to be their president, you should let them run their process. And it shows their process was pretty fake. Or they would have they can have Kamala, they can have whoever, but let the actual delegates do that. Don't manufacture it. Everything's so manufactured.
The
now.
weirdest thing for me was it all happened after the debate. So they didn't know anything before the debate, and then bang, the debate happened. Oh, Joe's not handling it.
I've been saying for months before they're going to replace him because he was unelectable.
And why isn't everybody behind Kamala still? There seems to be some unrest with California passing and not even wanting to cast their vote at the DNC today.
I don't think she can win. I honestly do not believe Kamala Harris can win. And their choice of a vice president, they clearly have not vetted him yet.
What do you know about Tim Walz?
Well, he's got drink driving charges.
Mm-hmm.
He's got this ridiculous video of him cross-dressing, dancing. He's been to China 30 times. He speaks Chinese.
He had his stomach pumped for consuming
not going
unspeakable
there.
things.
But I don't think they did their research. It was rushed because Kamala was rushed. And they had a last-minute panic to me. But they couldn't – the guy that should have got it is Jewish. He served in the IDF. They can't put anyone Jewish in the Democrat Party at the moment because of that. That's why they avoided him. What's his name? He's the governor.
Not Ben Shapiro. It's Shapiro. It's something.
It is
Josh
Shapiro. He's very powerful in the up-and-coming Democrat. He would have normally got it. But your Free Palestine group that are all Democrats, the amount of protests that Kamala, and they're calling her Kamala the killer and Genocide Joe. This is Democrats. These aren't Republicans. I don't think they can win. I think their party's too divided. They're going to – I'll make a prediction. If it's just as things sit today, it's not only a loss to Kamala, it's an absolute
landslide.
landslide to use the political terms. What other political terms?
A couple of guys on YouTube actually do the map, and they go through all the states and they do their research. They do a lot of research about each state and where they are in the polls and everything like that. And every time I watch that, Trump's got the and it's not close.
There is something weird about it. All of the surveys, reports, tallies saying that Kamala's just ahead of Trump as if it's a tight race or something. How did it get so tight all of a sudden? Riots happening now at DNC, over 1,000. This is from an hour ago. April.
Okay.
Yeah. No, August 21. Yeah. From about an hour ago, over 1,000 police officers are on guard. Violent leftist protests outside the DNC.
They have military protection around that place like you wouldn't believe, like the walling and the fences, because they know how hot this is. As it sits today, Trump's going to win. But how many more twists and turns have we? There's always what the Americans call the October surprise. There'll be something. If it's looking like it's going to be all Trump right through to the end, this is just my opinion again. I think there's going to be a change up somehow. They're going to do something. They cannot lose this. Yet every indicator is they're going to lose it big.
They haven't shown all their cards, surely.
Well, how many cards have they got? An overseas conflict, that's a game change. Because Americans all of a sudden, they batten down the hatches and it unites the country. And in that sense, you can't put anything past them. To me, the Trump assassination attempt is so fishy. It is so fishy.
The more they talk about it, the more they find out, the more fishy.
All these videos that keep coming out just putting holes through their stories. This is really, they're like there's a stand down order or something going on.
Did you see that video with that guy walking around before the?
Yeah, I know. It's not. I keep saying Phil and I could have done security better. I put you on the long gun, mate.
So, what should we be worrying about then? Or not worrying about?
Yeah, well, the two things. If Trump gets in, biblically, how does that look for Christians?
I think it's a bad thing. And it's a formation of the church and the government coming in together and forming what we call the image to the beast.
A bad thing for who? For everyone?
Yep, for the world. It's for the world. Now, I'm just going to put my cards out on the table. Politically, I'd vote for Trump or his side. I'm a conservative politically, so that's my side. I could never vote for the other side. That's just me because of the family I grew up in. If you at home do that, go your hardest. I don't really care. It's only politics.
And you're allowed to disagree.
I got good mates that totally. I was just on the phone
100%.
before this thing with a good mate who, he's the opposite of me, but we're like besties, and I don't care. But I'm saying that my side of politics freaks me out more than these deranged lefties that want to tell you genders don't exist and the rainbow mafia. All of that stuff is nothing compared to when a church or a religion gets control of the government. That's
so what's
not good.
What's the go? Why isn't that good?
Well, historically, if you go back, if we just let's not leave the Bible for a minute and just talk about history, we call it the Dark Ages, the last time in the West that Christianity, in the form of Catholicism, was the government as well as the church. And it seemed like a great idea. How good would it be if we could get hold of the government?
So the church is making laws, essentially.
The religion of Jesus is an internal faith. It changes you from the inside out. When you bring in laws, you are actually trying to change people externally. and it can't change your heart, and it's no longer a supernatural religion. It's not a conversion. It's a submission to something. Like that's the way Islam works, the same sort of stuff. I don't like it. Christianity should be a choice, and I will defend someone's right to be an atheist and to reject Christianity. That's their thing. I don't care. It doesn't change me. I'm a individual, and because of my Christian beliefs, I'm a libertarian. I think we should all have the freedom to make our own choice. Where if you get the government and the church as one, what's happened to freedom? But it's my side. So I still think people should have the freedom to choose. You can't force it. And it's a bad day. And that's what I fear is about to happen because, the Bible tells me it's going to happen. And we don't know when, and we don't even know how. So that's where we have to – everything we say here about what if Trump gets in, could be this. Hey, he might be the best guy ever for freedom and never take on any of that. But I tell you what, every indication is there right now that Christians have given up evangelizing. They've given up winning the argument. Now they want power. They want political power.
The big thing about church and state mixing together is that the church and state, whoever it is, joins together and they're making these laws for their version of religion.
Yeah.
And then that might not suit your version of what you're doing.
Yeah.
So you don't think there's any risk of a political left American government and the Catholics, like the Vatican partnering?
No, I don't. That's not me. I've got lots of mates that think that. Bible scholars, Bible guys, that they think the Great Reset was it. They think that the globalists are it.
Like a Green Sabbath kind of concept.
Yeah, like that's an atheistic Sunday law. That makes sense.
Because you've got the Pope come out and said, I was listening to a sermon the other day that I sent you, saying the current Pope is a socialist and was trained by Marxists.
True. It's all true.
And he has said that God is not a magician and that evolution is true. It wasn't a 6-day creation. So it seems like a pretty left sort of a faith to me.
Conservative Catholics have given up on the current Pope. They don't like him. They want him to be replaced because he is a climate changing, global control, globalist. So I'm not looking to him at all. He doesn't fit the narrative for me. I think it's America, and America forming an image to the beast is the first step. And that means that Christians, 2 Timothy chapter 3, where it's having the form of godliness but denying the power, that's not talking about the world. A lot of us think in the last days terrible times will come, men will be lovers of themselves, lovers of money, rude, boasters, arrogant. That's in the church, guys. That's not, the world's always been like that. What he's talking about is a corruption of the church. All of that stuff going on in 2 Timothy chapter 3 is not the world. Well, they were like that forever. It's talking about Christianity. And Christianity reaching out, having a form of godliness, but denying the power. And the Bible says the power of God is the gospel. Romans 1:16, the saving power of Jesus Christ. Christianity in front of our eyes is being corrupted by turning to politics as the solution. I don't, you vote, don't you, Phil?
I do.
You get a fine if you don't vote here.
I know.
$50. Is it $50?
No, you can get out of it. I've got out of it because I forgot once, and they
It's
said,
usually
why didn't you
voting
vote?
on
And I said,
Sabbath.
Exodus 20, 8 to 11, and I didn't have to pay. I said, they do it on Saturday, so that was probably wrong of me to do because that wasn't. I would have voted if I had remembered.
Thanks for
I
the
didn't
confession.
remember. Yeah, the confession's good for the soul. But politics is still real and important. But when Christianity has lowered itself, and you see this in England right now, left atheistic England is in the middle of this big social upheaval from immigration, what will be the end result of that? Are they just going to all turn into Muslims? I don't think so. I was talking to a British guy Tuesday or something. He's working in the agricultural shop I went into. I got to know him a bit, and I said, how's everyone at home with all that? And he said, oh, they're all leaving. They're all coming. That's why there's so many Irish and Scottish and English out here. They're all moving to Australia. He's given up on his home country. And I said, mate, I don't blame you. Don't blame you. We're witnessing this quest to make Christian the state religion. And they might not say that openly, but they are trying to enforce Christian values. And I agree with the values, but I don't agree that we should be using the government to enforce religion.
It's important what you're saying about choice. You know, the whole, even if you look the opposite of this, you know, you want to not like someone, well, you want to love someone, that's a choice as well. I mean, your relationship with Jesus is based on a choice. Your relationship with your wife is based on a choice.
Yep.
You choose to love her every day. And if you stop choosing to love her, yeah, you won't. It's massive, this thing of choice that's been set up by God.
And I look at Tommy Robinson there in England, who's full on. They've persecuted the heck out of this guy for his beliefs, because his beliefs are England, England for the English. It's all nationalism and all this stuff caught on up. I'd be right there with him if I didn't believe what I did.
If I wasn't who I am, I'd be someone else.
No, but
What do you mean?
just take my Christianity away from me and
Right.
I'm right there with him.
Right.
I'm not in England, so I don't have to. But if I lived in England and I wasn't a Bible student, I'd be there fighting for anything for my country, because I love my country and I can fully understand that. But our world is not in this, our home is not in this world. We're passing through. So we've got to leave it better, and we've got to be respectful, and every single individual you meet is valuable. And the way Christianity spreads most is when people lovingly share the truth of Jesus' love and forgiveness. That's where it thrives.
And when it's under persecution.
Persecuted, yep. And they're not fighting back with guns.
That's a great place to land.
So if people, thanks for wrapping it up for us, Phil. I was just going to say, if people wanted to actually study more about the beast power, the America in Bible prophecy, where are they going to do that?
They just need to contact the number 0482 082 876. This is a book that I wrote. It's a Bible marking guide. It gives you all the topics. It's not really me writing. It's just showing you where to look up the Bible and the verses and how to understand them. And there's some really groovy topics in here.
Do they text the word study?
Yeah, I think it's study.
Study.
UDY.
Okay, the little horn power, its role at the end of time. You can look it all up. You can know your Bible yourself, the Bible marking guide. I make no money out of these. These are done at cost.
Cost price.
But they're free for you at home.
Yep.
Just confirming the keyword study, just double checking it. Super organised here today in the office.
0482 082 876.
If it's not study, I'll make it study. But I'm pretty sure it is study already. So text the word study there, and we'll actually send somebody to your door with that. And if you want to study the Bible with them, ask them for a Bible.
Yeah, they should be getting out free
Get
Bibles.
a free Bible. Shouldn't be saying that on air, should we? Or we'll get overrun. But it's a really high quality
Just
Bible.
try it. Just try it. And if
See if you can get a free Bible.
it doesn't work, send us a text to 0482
We'll have to send you
082 876.
Phil is the Bible dealer. He gets cheapest Bibles and the high quality.
I won't tell you where from, but yeah.
No,
They're
don't
very
say
good.
that. Don't say that.
Thanks for your time, guys. Just a bit of a recap this week of the news. things are happening. Things are all happening everywhere, and it's going to be interesting to see what next week brings. But no matter what breaks out, stay true to God and what He is calling you to do personally, and study the Bible. That's the best thing we can be doing in these times.
Amen.
Okay, we'll see you next week.